Bonjour mes amis, hi guys. You know I like to talk about things happening around, even more if they affect the watch market. And a couple of interviews I watched of an epidemiologist and a healthcare authority figure in Italy really hit home for me and I think for many people. The speed and worldwide reach at which the virus is spreading matches predictions made early on by epidemiologists. By gathering information, they can feed mathematical models that help predict outcomes. And this is in no uncertain terms the long feared worldwide pandemic that will affect pretty much the whole globe for months. Think about Italy. In only 3 weeks, they went from normal life to total lockdown. That's insane. Right now, all over Europe, people still joke around. Some families in Hong Kong send the kids back to their grandparents' home, not realizing that Hong Kong is in many ways one of the safest places to be, as people know what such a virus can do, having lived through the SARS crisis, which was nowhere near as bad at its peak as this current virus. But specialists are telling us that we are only at the beginning of the cycle of this disease. The stock markets have already lost some 25-30%, and given how industrial activity and commerce will get hit, they will not recover for a long time. This morning, after President Trump's address, markets took another big hit in Asia. Whether you take drastic measures or not, the result is the same. The economy will suffer greatly. Is this the end of civilization? Probably not. So far, the virus attacks the weaker populations, the sick and the elderly. But the smokers and the obese are at high risk as well. Should the virus mutate in a more virulent form, though, who knows? Predictions so far are that eventually we'll get through it, but that the current death rate is the tip of the iceberg. Tom Hanks, yes, just announced that he and his wife have contracted the virus. India announced that they are isolating the country. The NBA cancels games. Bahrain will hold the first F1 race without spectators, and it goes on and on. And it's going to snowball until the Olympics are cancelled or postponed, which is going to have huge impact on the economics in Tokyo. The latest research finds that contaminated people, can be at their most contagious before feeling any symptom. If that doesn't convince you to take precautions, I don't know what will. But what can countries really do? Here in Hong Kong, schools have been shut for weeks, which puts already a huge burden on parents. But the saving grace in this city is that many households, even modest, have a domestic helper to help watch the kids. Not mine, by the way. My wife is losing her mind. But in a country like the USA, with mums struggling to make ends meet, closing daycare centers and school is just not even possible. Kids are actually not much affected by the virus so far, but that doesn't mean they won't catch it and transmit it to the rest of the family. There's basically no easy solution, and shutting down a country just doesn't work as people still need to pay their rent and feed themselves. So for the gambling among us, yeah, we can estimate that eventually stock markets will recover to pre-virus levels, but don't expect it to happen as quick as after the Lehman crisis, for example. Lehman was just money, really. The extent of the crisis here is much larger and recession seems inevitable. Now, what about watches? Well, imagine your country was in lockdown and basic supplies were rationed. Luxury goods would be the last thing on anyone's mind. In this world economy, many countries depend on imports, not the least here in Hong Kong. We have already had a taste of what frenzy a disruption of paper products can cause. Should food be affected, people would kill each other within a week at best to protect their children. Social distancing means people aren't even going to want to risk getting a haircut, let alone shop for a bag or a new Omega. It's all doom and gloom. The best we can do is be safe and prepare as best as we can for the worst and try to stay healthy, keep a good diet. The gym is probably full of bacteria, but try to stay fit. But part of us, watch geeks, will be on the lookout for a good deal, that's for sure. Hey, you can't keep us geekers down. So yeah, I regularly take a peek at the boutiques to see if any GMT Master 2 pops up. But here in a big watch city like Hong Kong, I don't really have my hopes up yet. However, in small towns, I think you will have a good chance to find what you're after sooner than later. But a cash rich company like Rolex can afford to basically scrap 2020 and stock up. I doubt even a big group like Swatch can. Again, I'm really not into social media fear mongering, but when serious people make serious predictions, we have to take it seriously. All right, so stay safe, take care, bye bye.